All right. All right, everyone. Hello. Welcome. Thank you
Kick
so
it off,
much
man.
for
Kick it
joining
off.
us. I'm Jason Levine, aka Beetlejace, and I'm here today live from Max 2016 with Chris Georgenes.
Well done. Thank you, sir.
So good to see you,
He
man.
nailed that pronunciation.
Look at that, a handshake on camera. So this will potentially be a singing-free stream for the next hour, maybe not. We've got some rocking going on
No
here.
promises.
And really great to have all of you joining us live here at Adobe Max.
Yeah.
So we're just talking about, animation. Now, maybe tell a little bit about yourself and the stuff that you do. We can say hi.
Yes,
The
hello.
highs are coming in to chat.
Yeah,
Hello,
I've been
Marco.
animating for decades, centuries. It's been a long time. As far back as Macromedia Flash 3,
Okay.
like
Wow,
1999.
99, yeah. Actually, that was the very first one I ever used.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then Flash 4 introduced sound,
Right.
and that's when the web kind of exploded, right, with animated content, and I watched it happen, and it's crazy because I've been a musician like yourself since I was a little kid, like 10 years old. So there's always cultures surrounding bands and music styles, right?
Yes.
I was invited, we were doing one of our very first projects was a Flash project where it was for shockwave.com,
Oh,
right?
Yes.
And we were
Who remembers
using,
shockwave.com?
It's still there.
It's still there. All right.
And we were using
Yeah.
we were using Flash basically for television up to that point. We were literally outputting to QuickTime, to bring into Avids. It was very analog,
Yeah.
right? I didn't know anything about Flash for the web. And so anyway, long story short, the producer for the Shockwave series that we were creating, I had to figure out how to use it for the web.
Okay, yeah.
I had 2 weeks to produce a 2-minute long episode in Flash with a preloader and a game during the preloader because
super nerdy, super nerdy.
internet connections were like 56.6K or 28.8K
Oh,
modems, right?
Ooh, US Robotics.
And we couldn't, and our SWF file couldn't be any larger than a megabyte.
Right.
And so the people I work for said, you have to figure that out. We have to deliver the first episode in 2 weeks. Somehow, it's a boring story, but we figured it out. We delivered 8 episodes. But the producer says, hey, there's this thing called Flash Forward in New York, this big conference.
Okay, yeah.
And it's in a week, and someone had,
Was this the first Flash Forward?
it was one of the first, if not the first.
Yeah, if not the first, yeah.
So Joe Sparks, who at the time was famous for Radiskull, and sorry if I'll ramble forever. And
Ciao,
so
Danielle.
he couldn't make it. He was a featured speaker. So somehow I was asked to go and speak, and I say yes to everything. So I said, what am I supposed to do? She said,
You say lots of things.
I say lots of things. She said, go there and just talk to them and show them how you use Flash. And I did. And what I discovered in that, I was there for one night.
Yeah, okay. all
Like
right.
24 hours total. I discovered
Doing
that
it the whole time. mind
there was
you,
a
the whole time.
culture around software, and I'd never seen that before. For me, it was always this culture around music or something else, but never around a piece of software. And that's when I discovered how powerful Flash can be used for the web, and then that's how I started to explode with my own work. How can I get it out there? And now I found a way. I mean, I drove home to Boston, 3-hour drive. I don't think I turned on the radio. I was so excited about, I got a way now to get my stuff out there.
So
yeah.
now today, cut to 2016, very different web, very different way,
Much more.
very different thing, but yet we're in Animate CC.
Yep.
And this is still your tool of choice for
Yeah,
animating
yeah.
and for drawing as well. I mean, I know you do Illustrator.
Yeah. I actually love the drawing engine in Animate because it's so simple that it forces you to be simpler. And with animation, sometimes simple is better. It takes very little to often get your story or your point across. But yeah, I've been using this program still. I have not grown tired of it. I've always found different ways to use it, different techniques, different looks. I don't know, it stands the test of time for me.
Yeah, well, and we've had, and he's also a fellow streamer on the Adobe channel, Mike Milo, who also draws and Animate, and he said the same thing about the drawing engine there, and I've watched him, I'm sure you've seen him, and to see him just craft things so quickly, efficiently, and with his own particular kind of style. And stroke, and you have the same, my friend. You have the same. Not the same style, you have that same unique style in this app that really, there's just something very organic about it.
Thank you.
Something that just makes it.
That's a new one, but yeah, I'll take it.
No,
no, I feel like I'm always a student. I'm always learning some new way of doing it. I love the fact, like you just pointed out, the fact that you can have so many different people working in the same product and you get so many different looks out of it. Different styles.
Right.
So I don't know. It says a lot. It says a lot about these this whole Adobe Creative Suite too.
So why don't we check out what you're doing, what you're working on, and then maybe I guess we'll do some kind of.
I'll do something. I'm not sure what I'll do. I'm actually going through what was still left open on my screen from my lab. This is what I was actually showing attendees.
Nice.
I wanted to show them how we rig characters.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, that's a question I get asked a lot from people who want to do character animation.
Right.
So I nest a lot. I do a lot of nesting, and what that means is using symbols, and every symbol inside of Animate has its own timeline, its own number of layers and frames. And so by doing that, it becomes very powerful. Not only can you layer static objects, but you can actually layer animations and get them to do different things. So this is a good example of it where I'm inside of the symbol. I just double clicked it, entered edit mode. And this is where I do all the sort of basic poses. Oh, I just undocked my timeline. Yes.
Oh yeah, for the that thing where if you have that full red, it flickers green and
Oh, this color red here?
That color red, yeah.
All right, well, I'll show you how to edit this symbol so it gets reflected and updates across the entire animation.
There we go. Oh, and Rocket League Horse is saying, or is asking if you're drawing with the mouse, but no. So what specific?
Oh, I have an Intuos Pro. This is the small. Yeah, it's the Pro. I don't know what version number.
Yeah, well, hold on. It's the small one.
What is that? It just says Intuos Pro. I have a medium and then the small one. I threw the small one in the bag before I left. I was going to bring the medium, but I'm like, no, I'll travel light.
Stuart's asking too if you do anything in After Effects or just Animate.
Yes.
And you do use After Effects.
I'm actually using I'm working on After Effects project now for the game company I work for, and it really called for it because we're trying to do this nice little opening promo. We have a game app that has hundreds of characters in it, and they want to marketing wants to convey that all these characters live inside of this app. So we came up with this concept that you're a camera and you're tracking backwards, and you're kind of coming through a crowd of these characters.
Right.
There's all three. They're all just single ping files with transparency, but we've set them up on 3D layers. Right. We staged them and staggered them, and then we have a big bitmap that has our logo cut out like a window. We send the camera through that. Right. So ultimately, when you watch it, you play it back. Yeah. I don't know if I have it loaded up on this machine, but I can find it. I probably could, but anyway, whatever. But yes,
we'll see.
The answer to the question is I use After Effects, but I'll use it for something where it was so easy to set up and edit after the fact, because you show it to creative directors, you show it to marketing, and they're like, oh, we like that, but maybe this character should be here, and this camera should go faster. It's just way easier if you set yourself up for success.
Right.
With something like After Effects, or even in this, if it's Animate, how you set up symbols and layers, it's all in the setup often.
And it's kind of a similar thing that I was talking about yesterday with having the C4D render engine in After Effects. I mean, you're still going to use something like a Cinema 4D to do actual modeling, to do texturing, those other things.
Right.
The fact that you have the Cineware panel gives you a level of integration, but ultimately there are certain tasks that are better suited in one application or another.
Exactly.
In some cases, not in all cases.
Right.
A lot of people are asking, and Jonas is saying, show it please.
Okay.
If they're asking if there's going to be another giveaway, yes, there will be another giveaway towards the end of our time with Chris here in about approximately 43 minutes or so. Michael will join us back and we'll have a giveaway.
What should we do in Animate and what should we do in AE? Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, kind of like what you just said. I mean,
or you can overlap and combine the two worlds too. But yeah, I don't know what you choose and when. It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a deeper question too, because while you could draw characters, I mean,
directly in Animate,
right?
You have the benefit of the entire vector engine in Animate.
Right.
Animate's simpler, so it's maybe not as intimidating to a first-time user.
Shared components like the keyframe editor, the graph editor for keyframes.
Yeah.
Similar, not exactly the same, but somewhat similar.
Yeah.
He is indeed a drummer, Ken, as am I.
Who's saying that? Is that my mom?
Ken Latman. No, it's not your mom. Hola, Ana.
Oh, I hope I have my hard drive. I have an external hard drive with some of the stuff
Maybe later.
I do. I might have it. Okay.
Toru, you liked Adobe Edge.
Yeah, there was someone in my lab yesterday that was coming from the Edge world and learning more about Animate. So yeah.
Difference between After Effects and Animate? I mean, there are many. Again, After Effects, I mean, I guess many people have seen Animate over the years. You've seen sort of elements of motion graphics. banner creation, these sort of things traditionally for the web, not necessarily for the screen, although there's that too. I guess it's
After
harder
Effects
to say.
Right, there's some blurred lines and overlapping. After Effects is...
Like what would you say, I guess?
Is Photoshop for video.
Right.
Whereas Animate is, I don't know, I don't have like a sound bite for that.
No, but you know what? But I think that's actually it, because, and I said this yesterday, After Effects, at its core, it's native with PSDs and AI files.
Correct.
Right? That's how you would feed it a lot of, if you're drawing a character, draw it in one of those, bring it into After Effects.
Correct.
Whether you're working in bitmap or vector. And obviously there's a lot of overlap in other places. There's a whole integration with Premiere on the video side that you have in After Effects that you just don't have with Animate. Although you may remember something called the A-Sound file that allowed Flash projects to go into Premiere or Audition for sound design.
Oh,
wow. Remember this? It was...
I almost totally forgot about it.
CS4?
How long? Yeah, well, then maybe not that long ago.
I mean, it's a long time ago. It could be easily 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Stuart Hill, but isn't Flash getting phased out? Well, Flash is now Animate, and is Animate getting phased out in the communities?
No, if anything, so it's essentially still Flash.
Right.
It's called Animate now as part of a rebranding, which, if anything, confirms that this program is going to be around for a long time. It validates it even more.
Yes.
And in fact, it's something I always thought they should have done, maybe even sooner, but I'm glad they did it. They even asked me and Joseph LeBrock, like, hey, we're thinking of changing the name. Are you guys okay with that?
Yes, I remember some comments from Joseph on Twitter around that time.
Yeah,
before and after, yeah.
And I was already thinking like they should, because I teach it enough, or I'll enter a classroom with students, like, we're going to learn Flash. And like, well, we thought Flash was dead. We shouldn't learn it. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's still like a great tool.
Yeah.
And so by rebranding it, calling it Animate, it really does confirm that it's just going to be around for a long time. They're adding more features to it.
Right.
They're developing it further. They're listening to artists and animators, and they're adding features. They're watching us on Twitch, on the Creative channel, seeing how we're using like sometimes third-party plugins, and now incorporating those natively.
Yep.
It's great.
So, and I like this from Darby, and this is I want you to keep pulling up files though.
Okay.
I'll just read them out to you. I'll feed you.
This just in.
That's right. Right. And this is something that I talk about a lot, which is that level of creative frustration. And maybe towards the end, I'll play us out before we go into the giveaway, which will be, Michael, approximately 5 minutes before our end? 55. Oh, right at 55. That's the end. But when is the giveaway? 5 minutes to the end? 10 minutes to the end? 30 minutes? Right in the middle. Oh, okay. So in about 17 minutes from now. There you go.
What are we giving away?
Rocket League.
A puppy?
No. No puppy giveaways. We'll do 2 giveaways, we're being told. 1 Creative Cloud subscription.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, can I show this? Yeah. Oh, this is super cool. I actually got to see these earlier. I won't open it right now unless we have an open one. Can open this one? Oh, okay. Well, we'll show this in a minute. We'll show this in just a little bit to entice you some more. Make it on mobile. It's a series of beautiful prints. We've got some very high-end printers here of multiple illustrations. Are these available on Behance? Have you seen these on Behance? Or are these part of our stock? Some of our stock? Or this is stuff that was created here? It's all Behance work. Beautiful artwork. So this will be the second giveaway. The first, just created with the mobile apps. So we'll be giving this away and doing a CC subscription now in 17 minutes. But someone was asking, and now the question is gone, about the frustration. Do you suffer the frustration of drawing? Like, is it always on? Or do you have those off days? And I know that I can safely
totally
say,
do.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
It can be a nightmare.
I can't draw a straight line most days. Seriously, I'll start off, and in fact, I've learned a lot from watching other artists, especially on the Creative channel too, that how they warm up, they'll just draw circles.
Right.
They'll just warm up, just draw circles for the first 20 minutes, and I love that.
Hey, so that's interesting. Now with all the I'm not an illustrator. I am, what am I, Chris?
I'll tell you as soon as I figure out what I am.
I'm not an illustrator, but obviously, musically, I warm up. I don't know that I warm up when I go to edit.
Yeah.
So interesting that it makes sense because it is physical. You're using your hands, so they're like drawing circles. I haven't actually had anyone say that to me. Not that I hadn't thought of it before, but no one. So you do? Do you have any ritual like that or no?
As far as drawing it, art-wise?
Yeah.
I used to not, but now I've started to develop it more. Where I'll do little things where I'll just sort of warm up. I'll sometimes take 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 5, and at the beginning of the day, and just kind of just do a few circles, and then actually from there, a couple will look like a character, and I'll be like, oh, wait.
It inspires something.
And then all of a sudden it turns into something else. So sometimes I'll get, like writers get writer's block, I'll get artist block. So I'll sit there and I'll just draw a line.
Yeah.
And then I'll draw another line and see what that looks like. Yeah, I think Mike Milo does it too, where he starts with a squiggle, and then he creates something from it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it's just a good exercise just to kind of stretch those.
I love this concept, because the funny thing is...
those creative muscles.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and I do this on Twitch a lot, where I'll do like a full live stream, live recording, 9 a.m. No other more musical time than 9 a.m. on a Monday.
No.
Go, make music in time, now.
Or wait till Monday morning.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way, really. And
yeah.
I still go for it, but inevitably, those first 5 to 10 minutes, that's the warm-up.
Yeah.
It's a little rough. Yeah. It's not quite in the pocket.
Right. Might have to reboot your machine.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Get
the
coffee just right.
I was going to say, rebooting the machine means having enough espresso and water.
Yep.
But yeah, no, so that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's...
and then walking away from it sometimes is good, is healthy.
Oh yeah, totally. You must step away. Step away.
Step away.
Step away, son.
Step back.
All right.
Pay no
thank
attention.
you, Toru. When do you warm up? Okay.
All right, we're keeping up. I opened up the After Effects file, by the way. I'll just quickly run through it. I'm just scrubbing through the timeline, but you can see how all these characters are set up, staggered. You can see how, here on the left side, this is the camera that's tracking, of course, and all these little horizontal lines are these bitmaps that are these characters, and it was really simple to set up, and this is just a rough. We haven't really done much else. There's a little bit of a particle effect that flies through, and so the idea is that you download this game, you install it, and this is the first thing you see. First time user experience kind of thing. And it just kind of gives you that feel of like, oh, there's the whole world of characters. Yeah. And we're going to play games, and it's going to be fun. And that's what marketing wants.
Can we play that? You're almost all...
You know what? I might have an MP4 that I rendered out.
That would be awesome. And is this just simple camera tracking keyframing that you've got going on?
No, not that one.
Some other stuff. It's hard to tell in
the nothing yet.
It's really just the
ultimately,
camera moving
so it's at that stage now where we'll send it to the creative director, a couple of art directors, and just to get them bought into the concept of it. Yeah. And they loved it. They've seen it. Yeah. And so now we're like, all right, let's take it to the next level. The next step will be to maybe add little animations for each of those characters when we see them, when it's time, when the camera goes right by them, maybe they'll blink, they'll move, or whatever. Right. So that's the next step. I'm trying to see where, exports. Outsmarted myself. So let's see if this is...
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah. And so there's actually another character. Let me play it. You know what? I'll play it on loop or something just so you can see it. Let's go to loop and play. So there's another character that's a robot, and while I was in the meeting showing the executives that little particle effect that was, I'm going to place that robot in front of it. So it's as if he's turning on the sign, little ideas like that. He's going to blink, his thumbs are going to be, he's got a controller, but we can now, with certainty, look forward to moving forward with this and adding all those little details because they've all bought into the overall concept. So I love After Effects for that reason, because you can mock up things. This took me like an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say, hour or two?
And they thought I could have worked from home for 3 days and come back and said I did it, and they're like, oh, you did that so quickly. But it really took me like an hour to do.
That looks great.
But I like using Animate for all the same reasons. I hope that I don't have sound connected anyway.
Okay. Good. So I think let's see you draw something.
Okay. I'm going to reconnect my tablet and stuff.
Hook it up. The animation's a bit linear, Rocket League. Yeah, I mean, this again, it's a proof of concept. It's missing a lot of the
nuance,
the nuance that the approved version would ultimately get.
So actually, while I'm in this file, this is all done entirely inside of Animate. You know what? My tablet's not really helping, but it's okay.
So he said it was like an hour. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was about an hour to mock that up. Here, I'm just going to play a little bit of this timeline. So the cool, fun thing for me with this animation is that you were talking about earlier, yesterday, the 2.5D parallax sort of effect.
Yes.
And so when I discovered how to set that up inside of what was Flash at the time, but now it's Animate, it just opened up a whole new world of possibilities as far as creating characters relatively quickly and then bringing them to life even faster.
Again, and this is something that I've always said in Animate, and this is one way to sort of differentiate Animate and After Effects by default. The animations here just have always seemed to be more organic and fluid, and it's something to do with the engine and how it renders, whether it's easing or I don't know exactly what it is, being not really an animator myself.
Right. Or you can be someone like Mike Milo, who does frame by frame.
Oh yeah.
He draws every frame, and I'm like, wow.
And I told him too. I mean, his style.
And Jazza, he does a lot. He does a little bit of both.
Yeah, but Mike's. Yeah, Jazza does both. And
he's
Mike
here, right?
Yeah, he was on stream yesterday. Jazza was here yesterday. It was awesome. And but Milo, yeah, he has that. It's that smooth, super organic, like.
Yeah. Like just the fact that he can draw so quickly and see every, have this like that elephant character where it's walking and stuff like that.
Yeah, Carbonate has just some crazy motion.
So when I went to high school, when I went to high school, they didn't offer art or music. I may as well have been in a Turkish prison.
Sad,
and they like literally I go there and they're like, do you like art? I'm like, yeah. They're like, no, we don't have that.
Oh.
Do you like music? They're like, no, we don't have that. And they're like, I hope you don't like girls because we're all boys school too. So it was horrible. So it wasn't until I actually graduated, went to an art school and started a band, I actually started to explode with all this stuff. But I never
took. This was in Boston, by the way?
This was,
We're narrating a little bit. We're getting a little background.
This is like
on the
70s in Boston. It was it was the Ice Age.
Hey,
may
kids,
as well.
This is how you become this. Right.
Yeah, deprive your kids of everything until they get old enough, and then they'll explode.
Right. We have to digress because we're 10 minutes from the giveaway. By the way, 10 minutes from the giveaway. Year of Creative Cloud, and the lovely collection of prints here from Max 26.
And just to finish that thought,
yes.
My point was really, it takes me a while to get to the point.
Yes.
I got to go more in a straight line. I never took an animation class, so I'm kind of self-taught, just figuring this stuff out.
That would have been something good to know.
So anybody can be sitting in this chair, really.
Really?
That's how I feel all the time.
You never did any studies of line?
No, watching cartoons on Saturday mornings with my dad.
Yeah. What was your favorite?
Oh, Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
In the Coyote Runner series.
Merry Melodies, all those.
I'm going to digress again, but I remember watching one Saturday morning, there was a Bugs Bunny cartoon where Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny are in Venice and they're on the gondolas and he puts an outboard motor and they're going really fast. And Daffy Duck is looking behind in the opposite direction he's going, then he looks around and the last second there's a bridge, he smacks it, he slides down, and there was a sign that said, Ducka you had a Lola Brigida. And my father laughed so hard he fell off the couch onto the floor.
Right.
And I kind of got it, but I didn't think it was that funny. I'm like,
not as a kid.
but just my father like taught me how to laugh and be kind of funny. And I'm like, Mike's my dad. He's laughing at Three Stooges and Daffy Duck.
Now, do you do voices?
Yes and no. I don't consider myself a voiceover artist, but I did for the Banana and Saucy thing. So I have a friend who is way more talented with voiceover, lives in Philly, who did the voice of Saucy. Yeah. And he tried to do the voice of Banana, but they sounded too similar, and I said, well, let me try it.
Okay.
I even gave it a little bit of a Western.
You did? Is that what that was? I'm just messing with you.
No one likes it.
No one likes it.
But then I'm like, that's more reason to use it.
Yeah, no, dude. See, we share that too.
Yes.
All right, we are 8 minutes away from the giveaway.
All right, so I'll just say this, with this character on this level inside her head symbol, all I'm doing is kind of using a parallax effect to move her up and down, okay?
Okay, yeah.
So I go up a parent timeline. This is like the upside down if you watched, but without the scariness.
Right.
To be inside of it's still the same world, but it's a little different.
Yes.
You're inside another timeline from the main timeline. I'm actually, here's the parent timeline.
And this is also, because again, people keep talking about differences and similarities to like this is one thing where it's After Effects.
Yes.
Animate is quite different from After Effects.
Yes.
How this all works.
So on this parent timeline, I'm rotating the head. While it's going sort of up and down like that, I'm rotating the head left and right. And so when you see those two animations come to life in a layered effect, then it provides that illusion that she's more turning her head in space. You know what I mean? And I kind of tripped over it like a dinosaur bone one day, or I'm like, I just
as you trip over
which
dinosaur
is basically the premise of my entire career.
Yeah. Rocket League, I don't believe there are any audition streams as far as I know, sadly. I don't think so. But someone also was just asking about, I saw a character animator. So that's actually a very different app, and I saw in the chat, it was something, so it is sort of a companion application to After Effects. The main difference there is that there is no authoring of character in Character Animator. There you are specifically designing the character in Photoshop or Illustrator, and you can bring those characters directly into Animator, Character Animator, and now, in the version that was released yesterday, you have all this super cool, awesome face tagging capabilities to rig up the character. So it used to be just a bunch of naming conventions that we gave you resources to understand, but it was a bit convoluted because every stage of the various mouth shapes, the various, blinking eye, open eye, closed eye, etc.
Somebody, I'm sorry, asked what my Twitter
There's your Twitter.
There's my Twitter.
At Keyframer. We've made that
Shameless
significantly. Please go ahead and self-promote. That is why you are here.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm surprised you don't have a hat, actually.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Next year.
Next year. But that's the main thing. So yes, you're importing Illustrator and Photoshop artwork into Animate.
Do have a hat.
Animator.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused now.
Sorry.
Character Animator. And then from there, creating, exporting, and then of course you're also recording live. So you've got mouth, voice sync, which is something that is not part of this. You have live face tracking there, which is driving the animation, whereas this you're doing it manually.
What's amazing about it is that it's real-time animation, which is an oxymoron.
Yeah. Right.
It's witchcraft.
Right. It is witchcraft. It is witchcraft. And the crazy thing is, having seen the evolution of it just in a few preview versions.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, for those of you who were tuned in to the Max stream yesterday, if you saw the live Bart Simpson, I mean, first of all, it's just crazy having Nancy Cartwright backstage. It was nuts. Yeah. And to hear that sound emitting from her voice, right?
Yeah.
And then when you see it
it doesn't even make sense.
No, it's so
surreal. It's like the
surreal.
Mike Tyson effect,
It's so surreal. Now, I don't think everybody got to see. At the very end, Bart actually bent over and mooned the audience. Okay, so it didn't go out on the live stream. He mooned the audience, and it was the Adobe Red A to censor his butt.
But it's just a cartoon butt. It's not a real butt.
You couldn't see it anyway because there was an A.
It's
a little edgy. So we didn't show it, but it was very funny. And my point of all of this, now you're getting me to narrate. Could you imagine if the two of us did a talk show?
It would hardly even twisted your arm.
We wouldn't get far past the introductions. But
can I tell you my idea for next year's keynote? Oh, no.
All right. What time is it? We have to do the giveaway very soon. All right,
2:28.
2:28. Okay. Tell me your idea, and then we're going to do we'll do the giveaway. And the live face tracking, that's inside of Character Animator. It's just automatic. It uses any webcam.
You have to set up a Photoshop file a certain way.
Well, yes, but no, they're asking about the camera.
Oh, sorry, it uses your webcam.
Yeah, so your webcam or external USB camera, and it just works. That's it. There's nothing you have to do.
It's amazingly simple.
To configure the live tracking. It's more about how you rig up the character, the layers of the character to make it work with the face tracker. And that's what all the new auto face tagging is. And it's genius. And if you still know the manual way, it's just layer naming conventions. So, open eye is equals E, and then the closed eye is equals E parentheses exclamation close parentheses.
And you can
whatever it is.
You can create pre-canned animations that you can trigger with the keystroke.
Yeah, exactly.
So
okay, your idea, and then and then the giveaway.
All right.
And then this.
So next year you don't walk out on stage.
Next year I don't walk out on stage. Okay.
We lower you down slowly from up high. We have a fan blowing on you, so your hair is.
I like the fan blowing on me idea.
So that's how you enter.
Okay.
And we have a choir behind you.
Yeah.
So every time you do something cool, the choir goes with white lights. And I was thinking we get like a real church choir.
Yeah. Like full on gospel
or we get
choir.
A bunch of us wearing wigs, so we all look like you, like little.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Disciples.
That idea, we're getting some people like that. That idea was actually brought up actually in the keynote rehearsals.
I thought of it first.
That some people,
they heard me talking
that
about
some people should have worn wigs before and after me. Thank you, Lewis.
But now I kind of want to create a cartoon character view. I've been thinking about it since then.
Want to create a cartoon character view?
Yeah,
I would be
people,
honored.
Did they refer to you as Video Jesus?
There have been some things.
Do you like that? Do you hate that?
To use Michael's own phrase, I think it's a little edgy.
Yeah.
It's a little edgy. It's
but
very nice.
you're also Beetle J, so I was thinking we create like a superhero character. We call it Jesus. Instead of Jesus.
Less edgy.
Thank you. I got one. We got one fan.
we got. Excuse me. Got a loud laugh from our own.
And every
crew.
time you enter the scene, we are.
Thank you.
But anyway, all right. I have plans for you.
Gene Simmons with a flaming guitar. Yeah, something like that. Okay, it's giveaway time.
All right.
Giveaway time.
I'm going to also calibrate
Wigs for all, heart and soul of
my
Pop
tablet
Carey.
right now. Michael's
Phoenix
here.
Studios, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Jan Eric, what's shaking?
Okay, so we're going to do 2 giveaways.
2.
Okay, so one of you in the chat will win a 1-year Creative Cloud subscription. If you're already a Creative Cloud member, it will just extend your subscription, like it will add a 12 months.
Yeah.
And the other one will get this exclusive booklet of illustrations made by artists, including Rob Generate, Dan Mumford. They were live on the stream.
Yeah.
This is Gemma O'Brien's work.
Jesus, good one. These are so brilliant, and they can't appreciate the stock that these are printed on. These are frameable prints. This is not
this is like on beautiful
suitable for framing.
Or this is Dan Mumford. Style. And behind you have the story of the picture and the portrait made by Rob Generate. So this is very exclusive. And and you will get like everything, not just one illustration, like all these illustrations. So how does it work?
How does it work?
First, to get more chances to win, you need to be to subscribe to the Creative Cloud YouTube channel.
You must be a subscriber.
Yeah, it gives you more chances.
1.
5 times more chances.
5 times more chances to win.
It's a robot. I've raised the robot. Nightbot.
I'm being asked in the
and
audience
they need
to sing
type
live.
a keyword in the chat, a secret keyword.
And the secret keyword
And the
is?
secret keyword is, what is Chris' nickname in the community, in the creative community?
Oh, okay.
What
My
is your
handle?
nickname? Your handle, your website, everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you have to find it.
Right.
Type it in
real
the chat
easy.
and I will announce you the name of the
And you'll announce the name of the winner. Okay, so that's it. What is his whole presence?
You don't
on
have to
social
look.
media?
You don't have
That's
to look too hard.
If you can answer that, put it in the chat. You too could be the winner. The recipient of. We're going to do Creative Cloud first, yeah? Creative Cloud first. We'll do that one first. Okay. Keyframer. They've guessed it.
They're so smart.
It's coming.
Oh,
All right.
someone guessed it wrong because they left off the R. They said they hit return too quickly.
Don, Kale, Kristen, Joel. Oh my God! Look out. Clearly, this is odd. This is something I've never seen before. People want to win free stuff.
How do they figure that out?
I've never seen the chat go this quickly. This is amazing. Michael, this is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Scrolling
My
chat.
head's getting bigger
what's
with
up,
every.
Maya? Good.
Myra.
So, all right.
So what are they randomly like?
So we have
putting a finger in a phone book kind of thing?
No. So the part of the system here takes all of anyone who's put in that key.
Oh, they get entered
keyword.
into a. Yeah.
Yes, and Michael
Way
will
more
draw.
scientific.
It's still going. Wow, there's a lot of people here for you, man.
For you.
Awesome.
I'm residual. This is all you, man.
No, well, again, thank you so much for joining us. We are live at the Adobe Community Pavilion here at MAX 2016 in San Diego. I'm here with Chris Georgenes. We're working in Animate CC, and we were working moments ago. He was kind of showing you some of the stuff he's done in sort of I guess more than previs, but for some game development, app development that you're working on.
Yeah.
And now we're going to actually just do some live drawing and animation, but we are in the midst of giving away 1 year of Creative Cloud, and honestly, the chat is still going. Tristan, Darby, Austin, I think I saw Dushi Rocks in there, Pavel, Mike, Mohammed, Peggy, Giancarlo, M. Frog, Brian Miller, Steven, Eric, I did see Dushi Rocks, Glenn, Jordan, Kenya, Richard, Glenn, Anna. How is it going, Michael? We have a lot of entries. Okay, it's still going. All right. So who's this?
I don't know.
Who's this dude that you?
I'm not exactly sure yet. I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it.
Yes. Yes. So you want me to say that? The first winner is. Sarah Natelli. Sarah Natelli, you are the the recipient. He tripped me up. You can't hear what's being said over here. Sarah Natelli, you are the lucky recipient of 1 year of Creative Cloud. You are the winner. Sarah, make yourself known in the chat. Still so many names coming in.
Right?
Yeah, there's a little bit. It's about a 15-second delay. I'm trying to see. Oh, I think I just. Oh, that's a different one. Yep, Sarah Natali, there you are. Yes, Sarah Natali, yes. Congratulations. And again, if you already have Creative Cloud, this will just extend your membership for an additional year. Yes, we can. All right, yes. Yep, I saw it here too. Okay, yes, we're rolling for the illustrations. Again, these are beautiful prints. Are these 8.5 by 11? Or 11 by 14? More than A4? Okay. Print guy here. Oh, no idea. Gray Gulka. Gray Gulka, you are the lucky recipient of giveaway number 2 here at Max 2016. It's 40 prints, Michael. It's quite a few. With some of our featured guests and streamers that you've seen here on past Adobe streams, including Robzilla, Rob Generette III. Yes, many others. Okay. We've still got names coming in. All right. We'll you've ruined my speech now, Michael. Will there be more giveaways later today? Next stream. Perfect. All right. Excellent. Okay. Kang Nguyen is asking, is there a way to buy the prints, Michael? No, it's exclusive to the show here. Yeah, sorry. No, this is it's really quite a collection too. So thank you. Oh, Gray. Okay, Gray just chimed in. Yes, thanks, Gray. You are very welcome. Hope you enjoy. Paul Tranny has just entered the building.
Our party started.
That's right. All right. Ivan couldn't agree more. All right. What's up, Evil Cerise? Okay. So let's see what you got going on there since I was looking away and not paying attention.
Just random guy. Random dude.
Looks. Okay.
So I'm starting off with like a little sketch of just some random, totally premeditated,
I'm not exactly sure who that looks like.
I don't know either.
Very confusing.
It's like a distant uncle. Someone's stepdad.
Okay.
No.
All right. So
yeah.
Yeah. So let's see your process.
All right. So
Show us.
So a lot of times, like literally, I'll
entertain us.
So I will sometimes start like this. Depends on how I feel. Sometimes it'll be pencil on paper, and I'll take a picture of it with my phone and scan it or whatever.
Okay. I was going to ask you, do you ever use Shape? Have you used Adobe Shape?
Yeah. I like that stuff.
Quick vectors.
I'll be in a meeting, especially with my iPad, and I'll do stuff, and it looks like I'm taking notes, but I'm really drawing or doodling or something. I don't have any one exact method of.
That's cool.
Sometimes it depends on where I am. I'll pull out a book with a pen, a ballpoint pen,
whatever's around.
Whatever's around. Yeah, it's kind of like a photographer where the best camera is the one that's with you.
Absolutely.
Right. So, I actually like drawing with ballpoint pens sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever found that you go to do that and the pen fails you?
Or it doesn't have an undo.
There is no undo. That's right.
You go to right.
You got to click on the top and it doesn't.
It's sort of more of an analog approach.
Do you recommend Apple iPad Pro or a Wacom tablet?
I haven't really played enough with the iPad Pro to say yes. I tried it once and I really did like it. Yes. Yeah. And I mean, it was brief. It was probably like a couple minutes. A friend said, "Hey, try this out." So I really want to try that out. Wacom products I've always used. I love them.
Okay, so you're like a long time.
Kind of been with them for a long time.
Okay.
Very interested in their new like mobile Pro unit that they have, like their companion, but it's just 16-inch and it's running Windows, all that.
Have you always drawn with a tablet, or did you kind of start with the mouse and or track wheel?
It's always kind of been with the tablet, even before I learned, or Wacom was really an industry standard.
Right.
And so we had Suma Sketch tablets, and the pens had the wires connected to it, and then after about a half hour of drawing, it would be all wrapped around your wrist, and you'd have to like the old telephone cords, have to just dangle it and let it like relax, and then you could draw again. And I haven't used a mouse probably in 10 years.
Interesting.
Between trackpads, but mostly, I have a Cintiq at work, which is awesome. But
it's great because actually,
even these, I come back to these and I'm like, they still feel great.
It still feels great. No, because Shauna X, whom we've had on several streams and who actually co-designed my recent album cover with Robzilla, Rob Generette III, She does everything on, she does everything in Illustrator.
Yeah.
It's all she does on the touchpad. Like no mouse. It's all here, and she's so fast and accurate, and creates beautiful curves and circles and shapes just that work. Trackpad.
And I know designers who hate tablets.
She's so good, so fast.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, shocking.
So everyone has. There's no wrong or right way to do it, right?
So Stephanie, that's what I was asking, if he uses Capture, and he does use Shape, and Shape is one of the elements of Capture CC, available for iPhone and Android. Is there a new Adobe Stylus coming out anytime soon? Not to my knowledge, Darren. No new hardware that I'm intimately aware of at all. So, what do you all think about the new virtual camera feature coming from 3D? Flash Animate always felt limited with its static canvas until now. Wondering how excited artists coming from Flash are. Virtual canvas.
Oh, it's definitely here. So here, I'll even play around with it.
All right.
Just to show people what we're talking about.
So maybe what is virtual canvas?
Well, I don't really I've never really referred to it as virtual canvas. I mean, they're talking about the new camera feature, right? Yeah. So it's. I mean, we used to fake a camera movement inside of Animate or Flash, whatever you want to call it, by moving really large objects that are bigger than the stage area, right, to simulate that. Right. This kind of does the same thing, but it acts more like a true camera.
Like a true camera, right.
So here we have this little camera icon up here. Let me actually grab a file that has a background, like this one. This is a good example.
Sweet. That looks so cool.
And then let me.
And you drew this from scratch in here.
Yeah. So this character actually came from was actually a game, an online Facebook game years ago, working for a game company out in LA.
I love it.
And so it was basically Rock Hero, and but it's on a social platform.
Okay.
And so you would log in, or you would start playing the game. You could pick male or female character.
Nice.
Pick the style, guitar, the clothes, skin tone, everything. So we created basically a set of movie clips of a character, and then we would, in real time, with ActionScript, map those objects on.
So I didn't get to that. Like, so were you like AS2, AS3?
AS3, but I'm not really a coder. Right. I was always working with dev teams, but I knew enough about how to code so I would be able to deliver to them files that were set up for them. Right. They didn't have to go into libraries and convert stuff to movie clips. I kind of set everything up for them.
Okay.
So they liked working with me. Yeah. So I hit the camera button here, right? And what it does is it creates a camera layer.
Not unlike After Effects,
Right, exactly. And now from here, I can create another keyframe, grab that camera icon, and we have this nice little slider. And just moving this around, it's set to rotate, but let me not set it to rotate. Let me go to zoom. There's a way to set it to zoom. I think this is a new kind of UI right here. I have a build that's a little bit different. So I got tripped up in my lab yesterday. But anyway, I can zoom like this. And now what you're seeing is the stage is cropped. There's this new little button up here right next to, this is like this big edit bar, they call it. Way over here to the right.
You're doing it like in a 16:9 so that it's...
Yeah, this is a 1920 by 1080 file. Yeah. So here, this kind of clips the contents of the stage. I can toggle that on and off. It's an easy way of viewing the pasteboard or not. But so you can see what's happening, the man behind the curtain kind of thing. You can see what's going on. I can do this. I can click inside and position that camera, put that character right there. I can continue to blow this up. When I release, it snaps to the middle, so it's almost infinite, right?
And as you're doing that, it's dropping keyframes in there too, right?
No, I created a keyframe first.
Okay, so you haven't moved in time yet. Okay,
right.
You're just.
I mean, I think what we could try to do. Let's clear this keyframe. I'm going to go and drop in. Let's deselect this. I'm going to right-click over it and say Create Motion Tween. Oh no, but that's a motion tween layer. That's going to be different. So yes, what we do want to do is on the camera layer, and I'm literally just learning this because it's such a new feature. Let me go back to camera. Let's blow it up. Okay. And then we can click the rotate icon, and this will rotate the camera.
Oh, nice.
I could probably make that background a little bit taller, but
exactly, a bit taller, so you don't get there.
And right-click over any frame in between these two keyframes. Right, this context menu pops up. I said create classic tween, and so now we see what is taking place.
That's great.
And so this is just a big giant symbol that contains her and all her animations, right? But the
nice.
The camera layer.
Let's see the moves, man.
All right. I'm going to test it.
Yeah. Can there be multiple cameras? Can you have multiple movements in a single camera layer?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's basically kind of what I did here, if that's what they're asking.
Yeah. So you're rotating and zooming, so multiple properties on the camera simultaneously, but it's just one camera.
Right. And so now, actually, I'll show you something else. Right. You can go down the timeline, hit F6. I'm just creating another keyframe, F6. Or I can also go to Insert Timeline and say Create Keyframe. All right. So I'll click on here, make sure my camera's selected. I can continue to change cameras, angles, whatever. But what I can also do is in Properties, I can expand the Camera Color Effects section. I can select Tint. I can raise the tint amount up and change the RGB with using these hot text sliders.
Nice.
So you can play around with it, right? It's like applying effects to instances of symbols. Brightness, I can change. You can change the whole look and feel of this clip.
One thing too, and I don't know if this speaks to performance, differences between like Animate and even Flash before, but the performance of you applying those effects and filters it's super real time. Like it's really fluid.
There's no hesitation, no slowing down.
Right, no, as you're making the change.
It's as fast as I'm thinking, which is really nice. Yeah. So yeah, and so then I can go up.
So slick, dude.
I can go up here and click this button, and I can crop it. I can really see the camera effect. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I was gonna say blow it up so we can.
Yeah. So let me test it inside the player, so you can see that a little bit better. So it's really great. So now I can set up a whole scene, like with the series I'm doing on Twitch, on the Twitch channel. So I have like a big long scene of these characters in a car driving. I don't have to think about the camera shots yet. I don't have to create keyframes on the main timeline and then maybe change my mind later. I can worry about all of that later, and almost like you're bringing in the cinematographer and say, all right, now let's do some, camera movements. Let's cut in more. Let's do something. So that's kind of a nice feature.
I love the hue changes, kind of.
Yeah. It's really, like really dramatic too.
It is, yeah. Dude, it looks so good.
It's a nice guitar too.
Fantastic. It's a good choice.
Thank you.
Good choice.
What was it again? What does that look like to you?
Well, it looks like a Telly, but that doesn't look like a Telly headstock though.
I think she modified it. I don't know.
I'm
a drummer. I don't guitars.
Yeah, so
I love guitars.
And there may be a flavor of Telly that's non-Fender that has that headstock. I'm not a.
Yeah. But she looks good playing it.
She looks fantastic playing it.
Right.
And I love the body, like the motion and the positions.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of that kind of cool, very slick nowadays movement.
It was a fun game because it was Guitar Hero, right? And how well you do. We did a ton of animations of her. I don't have them all with me, but if you performed.
And is this kind of indicative of your general style though? Like the way that you're doing the eyes, the way that you're doing, some people use a lot of gradient blends in there,
Yeah. Yeah, I like keeping things simple.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, like when people watch things, there's so much information that they take in that second, and then it's gone. Right. And if you put too much information in there, it gets lost.
Right. And some that's a style and it works, and sometimes I say it all the time. I tend to edit videos with a lot of long cuts.
Like this. This is just dumb, stupid, simple stuff.
That's so cool though.
But this was part of a game, a ninja game, a warrior game, where you're fighting ninjas.
Yeah.
And I said, why don't we make it a little different? And let's throw in a Powerup, where you press B on the keyboard, and your ninja, who's fighting thousands of enemy ninjas.
A hopping bunny.
No, he throws the bunny.
So you have like Vorpal.
And then the bunny starts hopping around, and all the enemy ninjas become enamored with it, and they just start. They like gather around and see little hearts, and then the bunny explodes.
Nice.
And it takes out about 30 enemy ninjas. So it's a cool little power.
So I was asking who made the background behind her. So I was going to ask you, is that just like?
Oh, behind the rocker girl?
Yeah, you just did a thing of text and sort of.
I created that in Photoshop.
Okay, so it's done in Photoshop.
In fact, let me find it.
Hand drawn or different fonts? Or,
different fonts.
Okay.
So all this is just a vector shape inside of Animate.
And yes, Jason, he uses both, but mostly the animation happens on this side.
Yeah, and so this is just a bitmap that I imported in. I might have even. Let me see.
I was gonna say, did you hand letter some of these?
No, I have
fonts?
I have like a really fun selection of fonts.
I love your fonts.
Yeah, thank you. If I only had a nickel,
that could be.
I'd have 10 cents. Anyway,
it's a good thing the audio quality is very precise here. I love your fonts.
Never mind.
Rocket League's asking, is it going to be professional like C4D and Maya? Are you referring to Felix Beta? Not exactly the same.
I mean, you can output to 4K in Animate. Is that what maybe he's thinking?
I'm not exactly sure. Jan Eric, actually the Felix, and I don't know if Michael remembers, so Felix, the name is a reference. Okay, she'll explain. Yeah. Okay, so actually Zorana G is going to be here on the stream at 5 o'clock. She'll be talking about Felix. But no, the name Felix is not from a cat. That was very funny, Jan Eric. No. And that's an animation reference.
Yeah.
For anyone out there who remembers from the early 70s. No, but Felix, Felix, I believe the last name was Felix, could be first name, was someone who is something to do with 3D rendering modeling. Zorana told me.
Yeah,
she'll explain it today at 5.
Chris, do you ever animate After Effects?
There was a reason, a tech reason behind the actual codename choice.
Yeah, Jason asked about me ever animating. Yes, I do. I don't do it as much. I don't do projects that really call for it as much, but I did show earlier an After Effects project that I'm working on. So if it calls for it, and effects that Animate can't do, goes beyond. I need maybe pixel or raster-based effects like that are just too time-consuming or difficult to do in Animate. I'll oftentimes even bring animations. I'll export to video from Animate and bring them into After Effects or Premiere Pro for editing, things like that. So yeah. Someone asked about frame by frame too. Is it for still frame only? But I'm not sure what that was. Anyway.
Okay, so we've got about 4.5 minutes.
I can show a combination of frame by frame animation and nesting symbols and tweening to produce a really cool effect. I can just do it right now. So why don't I do that? So I'm just going to create a bouncing ball that's bouncing across the stage. But the first thing I'm going to do is actually, let me go to insert, view.
That's correct, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Rulers. I'm going to create a little bit of a guide here, just so I don't get too, let's lock that guide. Bye. All right, so then, I did this yesterday in my lab, and I just got onion skin turned on, and I'm going to start making that ball fall down. Let me blow that out a little bit. Oh, that's way too big.
Like the flip books that I used to draw.
Yeah, I love, these are fun for me. Again, I'm trying to do, oops, I forgot to create a blank keyframe. Okay, let's make sure I can see a few more frames behind. And keep going, keep going. All right, so now this is where it's going to stop. Let's do a little squash and stretch. Oh, you know what? Sorry.
Excuse me. Oh my God. No hiding that. Sorry.
just let it all out, man. No holding back.
Max is tiring.
Max is hard.
But that's a nice rhyme.
Max is hard. All right, so let's do this. One more keyframe. And now we'll just do a little bit of squash and stretch.
Yeah.
And then let's have it spring back up.
I was going to say, are you going to do some kind of splatter? Okay, squash and stretch.
Right, but I'm going to make it spring back up. I want to create like a looping animation, right?
Okay, and we're doing this, we got like 2.5 more minutes. So we're doing frame by frame, quick ball dropping, squashing.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the ball the same volume, but this is going to look pretty bad.
No. You know what?
But it's like a good bad. It's like an ugly dog.
Because it's going to have that feel, right? And that's one of the things about frame by frame is it does kind of by nature give you a built-in sort of organic fluidity.
You don't want to be too perfect. I used to be really like into hyper illustration, hyper realism, and I learned to be simple, and it took a long time.
Yeah. Haha, Paulina. I know. I am in desperate need of a quad venti latte. I've only had one.
What is that?
That is a 4-shot, large Starbucks coffee with 4
4
espressos.
Shots?
Yeah.
You gonna get one after?
I'm absolutely gonna get one after.
I'll join you.
Okay. I'm buying. All right.
Okay, so here we have this looping animation, right? And it's for a client. They're like, give us a ball bouncing, right?
All right. 2
so
minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right, great. We got a ball bouncing, but they're like, no, we need to go across the stage now. Okay, fine. Be that way. Client's always right.
Good, bad, like an ugly dog. Okay.
So I'm going to select all these frames.
Talk about the 12 rules, please.
Copy frames. Oh, in 2 minutes?
I don't know if that's possible.
Where were you at the head of the top of the hour?
All right.
All right, so let's call this ball bouncing, whatever. Doesn't matter. And click OK. And I'm going to paste all these frames into this clip. Now go back out to the main timeline. Let's just turn that layer off. I'm going to create a new layer. Get in there, go to the library. We're almost done.
Yeah.
Okay. So here is that symbol. Okay. And I'm going to delete the original layer. I did that. I pasted it all into this clip. Whoops. I want F5. So here it is, and it's going to loop forever, as long as I have frames on that timeline. But now what I want to do is have it bounce across the stage. So I'm going to go frame 1, it's over here, off the stage.
Yep.
Right, and let's actually right-click over it, say create motion tween. Right. We're almost done. Watch this. It's like pulling the pie out of the oven at the end. We have one pre-made.
Don't break.
Right, and so I'm going to drag it across the stage, and I tweened it, so now the ball bounces across the stage.
All right.
That's frame by frame and nesting. Drop the mic.
Drop the stylus. And we're out. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Hug me.
Oh, baby.
See you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Awesome. Love it.
Me too.
Frame by frame.
Frame by frame.
All right.